Would you like to leave?
Because when I wrote this character, it was pretty much my personal association with these two characters of Bhima and the monk Karma, because this was very much personal from the age when I was very young, because I was always trying to discover and explore the feminine side that was inside me, because being a man, I was always had this dilemma about to deal with my feminine energy that most of the men has, but sometimes being a man, frankly speaking, we always don't give more attention to this feminine energy, and which is, I believe, it's more spiritual rather than the energy that we have masculine side being a man. As an artist, as a writer, I was very much aware that, okay, so if I make this female character stubborn, yet at the same time, it could be really a metaphor of my self-explorations towards this spiritual path. When I was a kid, I was around 12 or 13 years old, I started practice meditations, and I was following the path of my parents. And from that time, I had this subconscious feeling inside me that was coming towards me about the rebirth, and I was dreaming about, just randomly started thinking about my previous life. So from that time, I started to write a poem about reincarnations. And later on, when I was in high school, I started writing a story, and I was always thinking maybe one day I will make this story into cinema. And after my first feature film, and I started writing a script. And later on, when I went to this place, because I wanted to check either that was my dream or reality, because the impression that I had in my head from a long time back, from my childhood, and the location where I went with my first draft of a script having on my hand, and I was totally amazed, and I realized it was not the dream. I was totally right, and I was very much closer to my imaginations and my dream, my hallucinations about rebirth. And then I decided, okay, this could be very interesting cinema. At the beginning, as I believe, as being a student of anthropology, what I realized and what I learned, we are always struggling to find the better way to live a better life and to find the better space. But at the end of the day, finally, personally, I realized the place where we were was better than the place we are looking for.
Working with Min is very special. So because he is giving not only artistic challenge, but also it's a dangerous for the life. This November we are celebrating 10th anniversary. And last time he brought me to the very exotic region, and almost I supposed to die there. And this time he brought me to the Himalaya, more dangerous.
We were shot on 4,500 to 6,000 meters altitude. It was very tough, and few of us team, we hiked like 3 to 4 days up in the mountain where there is no visible road. But when you are there, the landscape and everything, especially the people there, was so beautiful that you forget everything, all the hardships. And when you talk about acting, if you have a beautiful director like me, then I think like everyone can act.
Vast landscape, they have a tendency to show you how small you are in this world. And definitely it did put us in the map as tiny as a mere speck of dust or a dot in the universe. So I think that's the inward transformation that I felt in that vast, beautiful landscape.
For me, my intention to put at the end of this film is, it doesn't matter if Bhima finds the solution of her quest or not, because it's more important for this protagonist to find herself. Because for me, inner peace and inner happiness, finding yourself inside us is more beautiful things in life rather than finding something outside, which is, for me, is very temporary. Finding ourselves inside us is more permanent, which lead us into happiness. That's what I believe. Thank you.
Dela shakpa nimangas dera te tira la te tira sams.
So he's saying he's very happy to be here, and he's just here for 5 days, and he was wishing that he can stay more.